Akron won the toss. They've deferred their option. Nebraska will receive as Owen Wiley kicks it off, and it's a return opportunity here for the Huskers. And going down is Kenneth Williams as he brings it out near the 25-yard line. And we will see the Nebraska offense with a star quarterback take the field. 9 different receivers overall, and really flourished in Dana Holgerson's offense, and he opens it up with a nice pass, an even better catch. Offensive line, including Teddy Prohaska, back from missing all of 2024 due to injury. Here's a third down pass, right down the seam. They love the tight end Luke Lindenmeyer, who had 5 catches last week. And that opens up room all the way out to the 45-yard line. Raiola goes through his progressions, finds Dane Key, transfer from Kentucky, who also had an excellent Huskers debut last week. Bruno Dahl went out of the game a moment ago, an Akron defensive end, and a lot of room to run. Bouncing off to the left side. Emmett Johnson has a chance to take it all the way, and he does. Touchdown, Nebraska!
The jump cut as Emmett Johnson ends up seeing the flow, and just as he presses the hole, that jump cut gets him back against the grain because of the movement they got on the interior of the Huskers offensive line.
Colin Lyons. We saw movement by Pietrzak. A quick throw is caught, and it's a first down as Marcel Williams picks up that first down yardage. Sean Singleton had 13 starts for Nebraska last year. Pietrzak finds the running opportunity a little bit easier this time rather than going wide. He just powers it centrally between the tackles. There when he was at Indiana earlier in his collegiate career. He's also played 2 years at Oklahoma. And here's a return on the punt for Jacory Barney Jr. The punt by Joseph Castle, who had a 68-yard punt last week. Now he'll sling it downfield, and it's caught. 50-yard line, Hunter down the sideline, makes it with a miss. You know, that's one way when we were talking with Matt Rule and Dana Holgerson yesterday about explosive plays. How do you get explosive plays? You make people miss once you catch the ball.
The more slim and trim version of Dylan Raiola on that boot action has an opportunity to outflank the...
That's the longest play from scrimmage this year. Passing-wise for Nebraska anyway. 36 yards. That's a nice one-handed catch. Lindenmeyer. Remember that they had the 47-yard touchdown run on the last drive, too, for another explosive.
Sticky fingers so far from these pass catchers of the Huskers. They're making...
Tremendous game by Lindenmeyer last week. 5 catches all last year. He had 5 grabs last week. 2 in this game. And another opportunity for Emmett Johnson. And they've moved the ball down inside the 15-yard line. There's a pass to Barney. Barney caught it and maneuvers down for first down yardage. And now they're in position with a first and goal at the 8-yard line. Emmett Johnson, another jump cut. Oh, the ball is knocked out just shy of the goal line. A big play made by the Zips defense. They have forced and recovered the fumble. Getting up off the bottom of the pile with the football for Akron is Cyrus Durham. It looked like Emmett Johnson had a path to the end zone, but the fumble and the recovery. And Akron will start at their own 2. Ben Finley's knocked backwards. I'm not sure he got out. Let's see what the officials rule here. He's out. It's not a safety. Desan McCullough nearly records 2 points for the defense with a safety, but he does get out of the end zone.
He's definitely out there, and it's all about where the officials rule his forward progress was stopped. Now he does continue to churn his legs.
Watch this. This is interesting, Anthony, because Ben Finley and Michael Johnson are moved to the backfield, and they have their safety. Jordan Gant is tackled. Pietrzak got it done, and the 2 points are on the board for the Huskers. Pietrzak almost had a safety on first down, and this is a no-doubter on third down.
I mentioned the movement up front. Mekhi
Nelson is in. Raiola with the play fake to him, and it's another long pass complete. Raiola finds Nyziah Hunter, and that ball is down to the 38-yard line.
And this route Takes Nyziah Hunter all the way across the formation, but off the play action, where Dylan Raiola has to turn his back to the defense, he quickly whips his eyes around and sees the field.
Building on an excellent game last week. Here's Mekhi Nelson. Joined the staff last year. Raiola throws, and it's complete. Barney. This drive looks very promising right now for the Cornhuskers. It started. Mekhi Nelson running it. Hit hard and forced forward. Off the hit to the 10-yard line. His heels near the end line. Doesn't have the full 15 yards, but quickly got the punt away. It's not a pretty punt. Barney has it at the 40 and tripped up just shy of the 20-yard line. And he has found his way to playing at Akron as a redshirt sophomore. Emmett Johnson looking for another jump cut, but not buying at that time. Field goal opportunity, Cunanan from 35 yards out. Camden Cook is the holder. Got the snap down, and the kick is good. And there's trouble at the mesh point. Down goes Sean Pietrzak on 2nd and 1. Pietrzak, who had the tackle in the end zone for a safety earlier in the game, blows up that play.
And the Where's Waldo within this Huskers defense is Deshaun McCullough. He starts off ball at one side of the formation and then wraps around at the snap of the football. And the angle, look how tight.
And that's a sinking feeling if you're Joe Moorhead as the offensive coordinator, along with being head coach. As 2nd and 1 turns into 3rd and 4, and they won't pick up the first down. The catch was made by Miles Walker, but Rex Guthrie records another tackle for loss on consecutive plays. Big Ten Conference Championship last year. More on that in a moment. An opportunity for Emmett Johnson to run, went right, spun back left as drive starts. Then on 2nd down, Emmett Johnson ran the ball for 8 yards, so Nebraska's still in a good position. And they're in an excellent position right now! Johnson right through the A-gap, the first down, and then all the way down inside the 5-yard line. Malcolm DeWalt kept him out of the end zone, but you could drive a tractor from Nebraska through that hole.
Coming right at you. The pile being moved by Justin Evans in the interior of that Huskers offense.
Going old school I formation. Stopped at the 3 on 1st and goal, right at the line of scrimmage for Emmett Johnson. Heinrich Harburg and Luke Lindenmeyer shift across the formation as their 2 tight ends. 2nd and goal at the 3. Johnson wide open, caught it, touchdown. Career best in rushing yardage, and he has 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air.
Utilizing those crossers, the in-cutting routes from one side of the formation, and because of the aggression, there's a lot of man coverage being played by the Zips right now, and very little eye discipline being shown with the backside of the
279 yards of offense to 30, although Sean Pietrzak will help that number for Akron with an 11-yard run, maybe 12 here on 2nd down and 10.
Just haven't been many of these opportunities yet for Akron to stay ahead of the change, but that's a really nice run from Sean.
Man coverage corner who plays a lot, Donovan Jones. Oh, big play in the backfield. Jordan Gant has had a tough time of it tonight. Gant is thrown down on a tackle for loss by Willis McGahee, the 4th.
And just from the exterior of the offensive formation, that jack position has the potential to be a defensive end, an off-ball linebacker. It can drop into coverage. And that zone dog pressure that the Zips brought, Dylan Raiola was still protected well.
And he's protected well here. And throws a good ball that's caught. And it is a touchdown! Quinn Clark, who had 1 catch last week, the redshirt freshman, scores for the first time for the Big Red. Volume of snaps and volume of targets as well for Jacory Barney Jr. Raiola moving and throwing, and Nebraska scoring. Luke Lindenmeyer.
With some quarterbacks, you may look at it and say, opportunity to run the football. It's not what Raiola is into. He wants to read coverage, deliver that his best playmakers were at the top of the progression.
Jordan Gant, he's had a tough first half, tackled for loss, including one play on a safety. There are two quarterbacks in the backfield, both Ben Finley and Michael Johnson Jr. And Johnson will take the ball on a handoff, and it goes nowhere. Another TFL, Dasan McCullough, Andrew Marshall, all part of that.
Well, Michael Johnson comes into the game. It's no surprise that he's the one who's ended up going to get the handoff. The penetration comes right into the backfield there. And
5 tackles for loss in this game now for the Husker defense. The Black Shirts force a punt after 1 first down, and it's a nice punt by Braden Johnson. A transfer from Bethel University in Tennessee, an NAIA school, but it was a great return here. Jacory Barney caught it over the shoulder and then turned upfield, and the impressiveness of the punt is matched by an impressive return by Barney. 47-yard punt, 28-yard return, and look at the moves by Jacory Barney Jr.
He is on the Paul Hornung Award watch list for good reason. Electricity.
Good coverage from Malcolm DeWaltz for Akron. Their best corner, Cottrell Wright, was hurt early in the game against Wyoming last week and is unavailable tonight. Bruno Dahl with pressure, but it's still Barney making an adjustment to the ball. Raiola hung in there, took the shot, and completes the pass to Barney for a first down.
It's a slot fade, but from just inside.
On 3rd down, handoff, Emmett Johnson cuts and scores! Piece of cake for Emmett Johnson to score again. 3rd touchdown of the game, and an extra point away from a 40-burger on the board for the Huskers.
Let's check Heinrich Harburg. It's going to come all the way across the four.
In the game right now, Riley Van Poppel, the son of former Major League pitcher Todd Van Poppel. Big hole to run it. Sean Patrick. Patrick down the sideline. Takes it all the way into the red zone, where he's cut down out of bounds along the sideline at the 18.
It's honestly an example of what I was just talking about right here, because the movement, the defensive front slants towards the wide side of the field. You get an additional body flying up, putting leverage towards the edge. But all the more.
This one is from 33 for Akron's first points of the season, and it's blocked. Blocked field goal. Shutout intact. Big moment on special teams for the Cornhuskers.
With this Black Shirts defense, but the Mike Eckler-led special teams, all-out effort.
Riley Van Poppel blocked it, Anthony.
Breaking through on the interior. Huskers with the shutout.
And then almost took out one of the assistant coaches in the celebration. Oh, nice. Over 300 yards and a lot more now added to it for Raiola as he slings it across the middle. Barney caught it, and then more yards after catch. We've seen it a lot tonight, Anthony.
Recent seasons for Nebraska, there have been a few different storylines that have just been the Achilles heel of this program. We started off tonight's show talking on short passes. That's one of the original air raid principles.
Emmett Johnson's had an outstanding game tonight. Mekhi Nelson is in at running back now. Flush on the pocket. Raiola throwing to the back of the end zone. Touchdown. Dane Key.
Both are uber impressive, with Raiola on the move over the outstretched hand of one defender, and then right there, just an eyelash from the sideline to Dane Key. And Key able to hang on to it with Jarman just being dragged out of bounds on his right arm. That's special stuff right there.
Orange Lutheran High School in Compton, California. And his first play from scrimmage is a handoff. TJ Lateef, promising young quarterback, gives the ball to Mekhi Nelson.
To be as excellent as we're seeing him to be.
And now the first throw for Lateef. And it's complete. And a broken tackle at the 40. And still going at the 50. What a disparity in 3rd downs tonight. And another conversion. Quinten Ives
Nelson was accustomed to playing 8-man football, so he's still getting used to what it's like with 22 bodies on the field. Comes across the formation for a nice kick-out block, and that was all that was necessary for Quinten Ives to make it a house call. That pile getting washed down by the left side of the formation, led by Elijah Pritchett, one of the transfers who's come in from the Crimson Tide.
On second down, Lateef throwing again. Mekhi Nelson is the check down option. Nelson slipped away from a tackle, and they'll have another first down. They may have more than that. Maybe a touchdown. No, Nelson's forced out.
From the running backs, the comfort on the field, the confidence to make plays, evade defenders. Multiple plays in a row now with backs not settling for being knocked out of bounds, continuing to look for yardage to be gained.
The play has been reviewed. The runner stepped out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Did he?
Wow.
Elijah Pritchett in right now at left tackle.
And Mekhi Nelson turning it in. It's just a one-play wait. It's a different player in the end zone, but it's more points on the board for the Huskers.
Took points off the board. It was a false start from Pritchett in this same area of the field. Here, look at the pad level, straining to move defenders out of the hole, creating the running lane for the touchdown. You want everyone to have opportunities.
This is the 11th highest output in school history in total yards, and their most since a game against Northwestern in 2021, when they had 657. Here's a kick return for Akron, and Brandon Hills is forced out of bounds.
Failed efforts where it was almost there.
3-10 in one-scored games in the first 2 years under Matt Rule, and the numbers were worse than that in the previous seasons. Here's Michael Johnson Jr. with the first third down conversion of the game for Akron. An outstanding close win last week, and obviously a huge number on the board tonight. Johnson looked like he was going to throw, then decides to run, and barely made it, if in fact he did make it back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a half yard to a yard shy of that. Jordan Ochoa among those on the stop for Nebraska.
Ochoa normally wrote.
3rd and 7 at the 40. Johnson ran for 17 yards and converted Akron's first third down of the game a moment ago, but this is a bad snap and a chance for a turnover recovered by Nebraska. Maverick Noonan recovers the fumble. First and goal at the 9. Lateef almost ran it in earlier. He does run it in now. This is a no-doubter. And officially, TJ Lateef's first Nebraska touchdown.
We're seeing the explosiveness that TJ Lateef possesses as a run.
This is a 4th and short here for Akron. And I'm not sure they got it. It's very close. Nebraska has been in charge of this game. They have bossed it en route to a 68-0 lead. In the last 5 minutes, sack. And there it is, by the way, Anthony, the first sack
of the entire season. It's now happened. The defensive front is on the board.
Ashton Murphy, the player on the board.
Some great push right up the gut on the interior.
Again, Nebraska's gone over 700 yards of offense tonight. Running play for Williams. Marquise Williams of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
It was quite a sight to behold to watch you do that math so quickly, by the way, before the game partner was very impressed.
By the way, into the game now is Jalen Gramstad. He played 1 game last year. Dylan Raiola, his career best passing yardage night ended in the 3rd quarter. TJ Lateef has been in the game and had a very successful debut.
What else do they shoot hot dogs out of then? I mean, other stadiums shoot hot dogs.
There's the last play from scrimmage in the game for Nebraska. They win tonight's game by a final of 68-0. as we look at Nebraska's upcoming schedule, sponsored by Wendy's.